love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like
How's
it's
it going,
nothing. I'm
everybody,
always
and
thankful for
welcome
something.
back
Don't take
to
for
the
granted,
Sports
stay
Tent.
humble. Now wake
Tonight
up.
we have a very skimpy crew. We have myself, Zach, and Brandon. I don't know where the fuck everyone else is, but we're gonna have an episode nonetheless. So, going to start off everything as we always do. We're gonna review the top 25 college rankings, and for the top 10, nothing a whole lot changed, other than Oklahoma dropping all the way to 10 after their loss.
Rock, Shock, Jayhawk. I didn't realize it's been like 26 years since KU's beat OU in football. I can't believe it's been that long.
I'm glad to see Kansas State and Kansas on the top 25 because I've only seen one or two games of Kansas play, but they've been really good.
They could have been ranked. I think they were ranked last year because KU had that big run. Remember in College Game Day came to KU for the first time last year because TCU played at KU, and that was a ranked game. And K-State went a big old run last year. I mean, obviously they beat TCU in the Big 12 championship game.
We have a lot of teams that are better, that are 6-2 or better right now. It's been a minute since that's been the case. Then we have James Madison up there at 8-0 and number 23, and they're in the friggin' Sun Belt with us right now.
People put them in the playoffs. I'm like, I should do it.
So it looks like
That's an old rule that they have for them. It doesn't pertain to them. It pertains to poor schools, not rich schools.
Is James Madison a rich school? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I'm saying they're financially stable because they've been killing it.
You know, they're one of the teams that was added to the Sun Belt this year.
I mean, they're already better off at FCS school than some FBS schools.
True.
They were the same.
And then we have the Air Force moving up all the way to number 17. I personally think they should be a little higher than that, but
Aren't they undefeated?
Air Force, yeah, they're undefeated.
I kept seeing
Probably because they're playing
Air
a
Force.
lot of
think
huge
it's-
competition.
I'd love to see them play. I wonder what teams they've played this year.
Let's see.
I wanna look up-
Air Force football.
Because actually they're ranking. You got to depend who you play. If you're playing just a bunch of cupcakes with losing records, I mean,
It's
it's really
true.
hard to get ranked.
So they played Baylor. They played Robert Morris, which that's a no name. Sam Houston, that's Utah State, that's not a no name. That's Coach A over there, yeah.
Sam
then
Houston State's technically a FBS school for the first time this
Yeah.
season. Still winless.
And then they beat San Diego State, and then Wyoming. I don't think Wyoming's too small of a name.
That's still Division One. Josh
Yeah.
Allen.
And then they beat Navy. And then they beat Colorado State by a good shot.
Mm-hmm.
And Colorado State is not bad for what I understand.
Oh, so they've played some pretty good teams.
And then next up, they have Army, Hawaii, UNLV, and Boise State.
I'd like to see them play Miami.
Hey, Army lost to ULM, so
Is that
first game of the year.
Hawaii, not Miami?
Oh, I thought it said Miami.
No, Hawaii.
Oh, okay. I heard Hawaii too. I
Miami
heard
of Ohio
Hawaii
or
and
University of
Miami.
Miami?
I mean, they have an easy / not easy rest of the season. Because, I mean, them and Air Force could go either way. Hawaii should be a win. UNLV should be a win. And then Boise State could probably go either way. I don't know. Yeah. No, they're not sitting terribly. But, I mean, for the most part, the top 25 is the normal people you usually see
We'll
in
see
top
what happens
25.
next year with the expanded playoffs.
I'm excited for it. So, then going into Red Wolves, we have once again, with a 2-week streak of winning a game. I guess it's not 2-week streak. No,
I think they were on a
it's not.
3-game one, weren't they, or not? Earlier, when they beat UMass, they beat Stony
Yeah,
Brook, and they
we beat
beat.
Stony, Southern Miss, and UMass, and then we
Oh
lost
yeah,
to
Southern Miss.
then we lost to Troy, lost to Coastal. Coastal should have been a win. We fought very well against Coastal. And
I didn't even
then
watch that game.
I was there. It was a great game. Had a blocked field goal.
Isn't it weird to be in the stands? Is that your first A-State game in the stands?
That was the first A-State game where I was a fan in the stands since the first game I went to in my freshman year before I worked for the team. Other than the Oklahoma game. But it's the first time in the home game.
Yeah, but it's nice to go to a game and not have to actually work.
It was funny, Brandon. The first half, I was at the end of every play, I was looking at a scoreboard.
Yeah, right. We need more ass bars.
I'm not kidding. I was looking at a scoreboard, getting ready to get a scoreboard shot. It was just habit. It just went right back in. I could do it again today.
You know what? Like, not a lot of teams are doing this, but NFL teams been doing it the last couple of years, and I can't think of any college teams are doing it, but they've talked about it. At least the video coordinators. But like the Niners, and I think the Rams, I want to say, they have a digital scoreboard. So like NFL, obviously you shoot scoreboard, ribbon board, whatever. You shoot the same thing every clip. But I think SoFi Stadium, they provide their own digital scoreboard, and you just intercut it with the film. Like it's not something you film. It's literally a digital scoreboard. You just see
I can't remember who it was.
The home team.
There was somebody we went and played. I can't remember who it was. There was somebody we played. They had a scoreboard interface on their camera. So they didn't record from the camera. The camera was just a camera, and it was plugged into a computer. And the person on the computer was doing the pause and record. And they had they had a scoreboard intercut on the camera. And so every play had scoreboard integrated on it.
That'd be a boring job. I would not want.
You were at that point. You were just an all 22 camera.
True.
But
there's a lot of teams out there that just they like let's say you're on a road, like they would have a camera just pointing, a separate camera just pointing to the scoreboard, and you have a filmer. All they do is just shoot scoreboard shots.
I mean, that's what Troy did.
Oh yeah.
If you remember that, they had 3 sideline filmers. They had one person doing a sideline, they had one person learning, and they had a guy that was all he did was sit there, drink beer, and shoot the scoreboard.
That's crazy. That's a little, to me, that's overkill, because I get, you know why some people do that? Some people do that so, one, obviously you can't miss a scoreboard shot, but 2, sometimes it's hard, depends, some places don't have like a ribbon board, and that's usually what you shoot a, because it's easier for the sideline film to shoot a ribbon board than to shoot a scoreboard at either end of the end zone.
Right, you don't have as much movement.
But obviously, that's like Power 5 stadium. So if you got a smaller stadium, like Georgia Southern.
Well, if I remember, I'm pretty sure Troy was the field that only had one scoreboard, and that's all they had.
Coastal. If you ever went to Coastal.
Yeah, Coastal was like that.
I think ULM was like that, but I can't remember because I had stomach flu and I was dead the whole game. But
yeah,
just going by memory.
Well, but yeah, end of the day, Arkansas State beat LA Monroe 34-24, and it
the streak continues. 17 years. I didn't realize it was that long. I texted Chris. I didn't realize the streak was that long.
Talk about getting in your head.
But I was looking at ULM's season last year, and they did beat a few Sun Belt teams, so it's not like they're winless in the Sun Belt. It's just Arkansas State.
Yeah. Yep.
That's crazy.
That's probably
17 years in a row. Arkansas State's beat ULM.
That's probably one of the longest streaks ever, I could imagine.
I did go digging for that. I have no idea, but obviously Butch has never lost to them.
I don't remember ever losing to them in my time there.
Obviously, because it's been 17 years.
Sure. Well, I'm just saying, like, I can back up 5 years of that. But no, it'd be interesting to see how we do against the Raging Cajuns next week.
Is it at Lafayette or is it at home?
It's at home.
Oh, I wonder how many people are planning to go. I know on A-State Nation they always do like a roll call. Oh, who's going to the game? Blah blah blah. But I wonder how many tickets are sold right now.
Well, I was planning on going this weekend, but stuff with moving into the house and everything, we got caught up with time, and we've got to have this weekend to move stuff around.
Not a fan.
Let's see.
So I just looked up consecutive wins for beating one opponent, and it looks like I hope I'm reading this right. I probably am, but it says that Notre Dame has beaten Navy 43 times in a row from 1964 all the way to 2006.
Wow.
Holy shit!
43 times.
What's the next longest?
It has to be Vanderbilt or somebody in SEC.
Kansas 36 times.
Who?
Okay, that's not a shocker.
Nebraska beating Kansas 36 times. It's from 1969 all the way to 2004.
Next.
Princeton beating Rutgers 33 times.
Okay.
That's crazy when you think about it.
Just take us to the end of the
beating
list.
Kent State 32 times.
Wow.
I want to see if there's any that I know. I mean, there's a lot of them that I know. I guess look for any really big ones. Nothing really else that kind of stands out. I was hoping I would see like a Sun Belt team.
I was watching a video a couple weeks ago about the history of the Sun. It's pretty interesting.
Well, I mean, it's kind of neat how it started. If I'm not mistaken, we were essentially created to be a sister conference to the SEC.
Oh, there's active
Now, without
streak.
getting into super conferences, I think Sun Belt's one of the bigger conferences overall in college football.
Yeah.
Conference USA is just a hodgepodge mixed together conference. Holy crap. When you look at Conference USA, you're like, if you don't have a conference, come to us.
Pretty much.
But next year's ACC yesterday released their college football schedule, and so all the ACC teams are posting their schedules. Yeah. It's insane. You look at the ACC. Like, you got Stanford and Cal going to the East Coast. SMU's in SMU's in it too, which is weird.
Well, so we've played SMU pretty regularly.
Uh-huh.
I mean, they're not that far from us in the scheme of things.
Yeah. Surprised the Big 12 didn't pick them up location-wise. And SMU's a solid team.
So it's funny. The guy that hired me at A-State left to go work at SMU, and he tried to get me to go with him. He really, really tried to get me to go.
Oh, wow.
You watch the shooters.
And then the guy that was there, I believe, went to Ole Miss. And the guy that was at Ole Miss was Chris, who became my boss at A-State. So they did like a little triangle switch. And Chris grew up in, just outside of Jonesboro. And, what's that area called? It Brooklyn? Not Brooklyn. Oh, hell, I can't remember. Went to A-State himself, was in the band, worked for the football team and everything.
Was it cold out there?
I hear her, Kristen. Tell Kristen she's in the podcast now.
Tell her to join.
But yeah, end of the day, Arkansas State playing Raging Cajuns. Raging Cajuns are 5-3. A-State is 4-4, and Raging Cajuns are predicted to win by 75%.
Yeah, I saw 8.5 points.
Didn't they say the same thing for ULM?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's by 2 though.
And against Coastal, it was a 99.9% chance of Coastal winning, and we damn near beat them.
I wonder how they get those statistics.
They pretty much take how you've been playing for the season, especially the average points allowed. They take the average points you allow versus the average points the team you're playing makes, and then they average that out in a kind of way, and then they put that together, and then so they can kind of see, on average you allow 34 points, and this team on average makes 40 points. So there's a good chance they'll make like 45 points. And on average, you make 25 points. And on average, this team only allows 16 points. And then they average that out. That I know is a part of it. I'm sure there's a lot more that goes into it. Well, they also count like turnovers and like retain, turnovers committed, turnovers forced. And then they average that out. It's pretty much a lot of averages between what you do and what that other team allows or forces.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a big hodgepodge of averages. So, but it'd be interesting to see. I mean, A-State only has to win 2 more games and we're bowl eligible again. I mean, and if that were to happen, that would be a hell of a turnaround for Butch.
And they haven't been there since we were at the Camellia Bowl.
Right. I mean, to be fair, the first year we weren't bowl eligible wasn't Butch's fault. It was actually Coach A's fault. We weren't bowl eligible the last year he was there.
Kind of a rough year though.
It was. You can make
Everything that was going on and COVID and just a weird year in college.
That's true.
I mean, but it's like anybody would have made a bowl game that year because they needed teams just to play a bowl because you had bowl eligible teams not wanting to play a bowl game.
Yep.
I don't blame them.
That's true. So, but yeah, I mean, this game this weekend is up in the air. We have Raging Cajuns. I expect. I mean, I would bet that they would win, but it's up in the air. South Al, that's going to be up in the air. The only thing is it's at South Al, and they tend to win when we play them at home or at their home. And then Texas State comes to play us. And that, to me, that's going to be a toss-up game. Let's see what the
Well, do you have the Sun Belt pulled up? Who's bowl eligible right now? I know James Madison technically is, but who else is bowl eligible for Big Sun Belt?
See. So we have standings. So we have James Madison, Georgia Southern, Georgia State. Coastal actually
Georgia State.
Coastal actually isn't bowl eligible yet. And then Troy.
Yeah, Georgia State's like best start in history I saw.
Yeah, and then Troy's bowl eligible. But almost every team is still eligible to be bowl eligible, except LA Monroe and Southern Miss.
Yeah, Southern Miss getting their ass beat this year.
Yeah. The only ones that I'm not sure if they are eligible to be eligible would be the ones that are like playing each other. And so they would essentially take one or the other outside of that eligibility.
Yeah, you have to have FBS wins. You can't have like 2 FCS wins. It doesn't count. I think the most you can have is like 1. But I think that should be, I don't know. They should always put your record with an asterisk or have a separate bracket saying who you beaten FCS wise. Because a lot of teams are like, oh, it's 4-4-0. But you played 2 FCS teams. So it should be like 2-0 FCS, 2-0 FBS. You should have like 2 records. I don't know. Because it's deceiving.
I don't disagree. But it'd be interesting to see how many Sunbelt teams end up being bowl eligible at the end of this. I mean, hell, in 2 weeks, everybody could be bowl eligible except for LA, Monroe, and Southern Miss. That's what's crazy. So, but it'll be interesting. It'll be more like 3 weeks because a bunch of us are playing each other. But still, I mean, the possibility is there. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams that are all 4-4.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, I would be very impressed if we go to a bowl game this year. The question about firing Butch should be out the window.
Yep. At least for this season.
Right, at least for this season, because at least at this, and we're not playing easy teams at all. We haven't.
No.
We haven't. I mean, it's not the easiest schedule we've ever had, but it's also.
But you should know your opponents by now in Sunbelt.
It's true. The only difference is we had a lot of teams that were added to the Sunbelt this year, which is a little bit of a toss-up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, our let's see where we're at here. This got scrolled way up. Here we are. Like Oklahoma, that should have been an expected loss. Memphis. When we play Memphis, it's a 50-50 game. Always has been the last few years. However, this year wasn't a great example of that because we were so fucked up after playing Oklahoma.
I'd say we got screwed up.
Yeah. And then we destroyed Stony Brook.
Oh, yeah, it's supposed to. I mean,
Right. And then we played a really good game against Southern Miss. And then we beat UMass. And then we lose to Troy. I mean, we honestly haven't had a terrible season.
Well, you need to beat the teams you're supposed to beat on paper. You're not supposed to lose to the teams you're supposed to beat on paper. I'm just saying on paper.
Right. And at this point, we've been holding that. And at this rate, we've been beating people that we should have been losing to on paper. So, I mean, I can't complain right now. I mean, shit,
it's kind of hard when you have a new staff every year. He has a
Right.
new staff almost every year.
And we're already double our record of what we were last year. I mean, if we lost from here on out, I'd
Can't really
be
say that much,
disappointed. But I mean, it's true. But even if we lost out from here on out, I'd still be happy compared to what we did last year. In the scheme of things.
Yeah. I mean, there's still some coaches on that original staff when I left.
Yeah.
I looked at it the other day, but, Arkansas State's one of those G5 schools that someone's probably going to leave because they're not going to stay at Arkansas State the rest of their life. They want to move up.
But what's funny about that is Butch acts like this is where he wants to stay. I mean, I'm pretty sure.
It's a head coaching job.
Right. I mean, he has a pretty positive, a 10-year contract with us.
Yeah, I don't think the school can afford to really let him go either.
No.
I don't know all the big boosters that Arkansas State have. You're not like an Auburn, and you just fire a coach a $20 million dollar buyout. It's, that's nothing.
Head dropping bucket.
I mean, they fired 2 coaches in a row and paid 2 coaches in a row to basically leave.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, with rolling into that, we'll go ahead and let that be our wiggle back into the NFL. So, Brandon, tell me what you informed me about last night.
You're pregnant.
Yeah.
What?
That got his attention.
No,
So Joshua Daniels got fired at like 10 o'clock Pacific time.
last night, yeah.
And the GM.
But for reference, Zach, he's talking about the Raiders head coach.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a little past midnight for us. The Raiders let go of their head coach and general manager.
I'd laugh if the Raiders went
Not
on the
that
run,
late.
though.
What was the reasoning why?
I don't know.
Why that
It's the
late?
Raiders. It's the Raiders. I don't know. Maybe they're too busy being on the strip, and he's like, "Hey,
And
you
like,
got to
did they
come
get
back to the
caught
office."
doing something?
No, he's just then losing.
Just not that.
But why at 10 o'clock at night? You know what I mean? Like, why not wait till the
Because they're
next
gambling
day?
all day.
They might have been just sitting there thinking about it all day, and they finally got all the paperwork ready to go, and just went ahead and submitted it and said, "Fuck it, let's just do it." I mean, at that rate, you could imagine the
I
head
reacted the
coach knew.
same way. I mean, usually people get fired is early in the morning. You know,
Oh,
you
yeah,
have
I mean,
a
I would think
here.
it'd be like the start of the day or something, not like that late. It
Now you
makes me
can't
think
really
that
get an
like they
official
did
statement
something
unless
that
like all
day.
these reporters and journalists are calling in my phone or something. Because you ever, it's not like, hey, we're gonna hold a press conference at 9 p.m.
Yeah.
Be right back.
You know, there's a good chance they went ahead and just did it to break the news, and then they could actually schedule press conferences and shit for the next morning and whatnot.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, that's interesting.
Then they're like, "Ah, submitted. All right, grab a drink. Let's go to bed."
Look
We'll
how
talk
that
about
happened.
that
Okay,
tomorrow.
time to go.
Fuck it. We'll deal with that probably in the morning. So Zach, as the one unfortunate Chiefs representative, and sadly, I'm pretty positive you didn't even watch the game.
No, I'm afraid not.
What do you think happened?
Well, I'm really surprised on their performance after, and like I said, I did not watch the game. But
Just for
I
reference,
did have,
Broncos beat the Chiefs 24-19.
yeah. So I did have Butker, who is the Chiefs kicker, and I did see that they got 3 field goals. So it wasn't even like they didn't even get a touchdown the whole
Yeah.
game. That blows my mind.
So I have some fun
And
stats I'll read off here in a second, but I'm pretty sure that's probably the first game that they haven't scored a touchdown in a hot minute.
yeah, see, that's what surprised me a whole lot. And I know that in the past the Chiefs have been really big rivals with the Broncos. So I don't know if it was just that
They
the
got in their head
Broncos
or something.
stands were just way too loud, and they were just I don't know. I mean who knows? But I'd love to see what the stats were. I was just about to pull that up. Do you have that in front of you?
Let me see.
But it looks, just kind of looking at from quarter to quarter, it looks like it
So
was a very boring game.
here's
Just
what's
looking
interesting.
at it.
Team stats: the Chiefs outdid the Broncos in total yards
Let's
by
ride.
274 to 240. Passing yards, the Chiefs outdid over 200 passing yards to 87 passing yards. However, the Broncos had 150 rushing yards, and the Chiefs only had 60 rushing yards.
Wait, the Broncos only had 87 yards passing?
Yeah.
No
That is
way.
amazing.
I wonder if did he take a lot of sacks? Because that takes away your passing too.
So the Broncos committed or allowed
Wait,
6
I gotta go.
sacks.
1 second, I'll be back.
Okay. Broncos allowed 6 sacks, while the Chiefs only allowed 3. The Broncos punted 4 times. Chiefs only punted 4. Now, here's where the Chiefs got butt fucked in the asshole.
Oh, very
Chiefs-
specific.
The Chiefs fumbled 3 times, or lost a fumble 3 times, and gave up 2 interceptions. So they turned
it's the NFL. Anyone can win any day. It's not like, oh, you're a good team. You're going
Yep.
to have NFL teams that can beat you any day of the week.
And the Broncos only committed 1 fumble loss of their own. So
Which is surprising because they've been struggling all year.
Right. So the Broncos won the turnover game 5-1. Broncos led time of possession by 7 minutes. And I mean that's pretty much it. I mean, the Broncos found the end zone 3 times and with an extra touchdown or extra field goal, excuse me. And then Kansas City got a field goal in the first, 2 field goals in the second, and it scored all in the second half. So it was.
I wonder which quarter Easton apparently got a strep throat.
Right. At which point did he start deep throating a dildo, trying to figure out what the hell's going on? And Russell Wilson, for them not having hardly any passing yards, he had 3 touchdowns.
How many attempts did he have?
He was 12 for 19.
12 for 19 for 87 yards. So he got sacked. He got sacked how many times on 19 attempts? That's wild.
So what's interesting is right here I'm seeing Russell Wilson was 12 for 19 for 114 yards. But when you go to team stats, it shows they only had 87 passing yards. Something there ain't adding up.
Sacks.
Well, let me see what ESPN shows.
Who's the leading receiver? Or was it just spread out? Because that's where you can find their actual true passing yards.
So Jerry Jeudy had 2 receptions. I mean, it was all spread out. He had 2 receptions for 50 yards. And then Cortland Sutton had 2 receptions for 30 yards. And that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, it says right here, Russell Wilson, 114 yards. Yeah, and then it says team was only 87 yards. How does that add up? Unless what they're
Anyways,
counting.
Chiefs lost to a guy throwing 87 yards.
They're probably, yeah, right. They're probably counting the 6 sacks for 27 yards.
Yeah, so it'd be net yards passing.
Yeah. Oh. But yeah. There it is. So the passing yards were a little bit better than it looked, but yeah.
Chiefs fans are the only fans who think that they should win every game. Because they've just been spoiled and all that stuff.
It's true. I don't disagree. It's probably my least favorite team in the NFL. And will forever always be.
Wow.
So, and then, Green Bay loses again, 24-10, but we evidently hurt their quarterback, so now we got interesting season for the Vikings. Oh, is he really?
Torn Achilles.
He pulled an Aaron Rodgers.
Which is funny because you see all these crazy videos of Aaron Rodgers throwing the semi-walking.
He looks good right now. I mean, he's not going to be back this season.
He doesn't have a fully torn Achilles. But I'm like, I didn't know that you could even have a partial. Like, I thought it was torn and not torn. Like, there's no middle.
Yeah. Well, no, it was fully torn. He's been doing really good in recovery.
New age science that he's probably doing.
Oh, so we had the Jags destroy. They beat the Steelers. The Eagles beat the Commanders. The Eagles-Commanders game was good. The Cowboys butt-fucked the Rams in every angle that they possibly could.
And that game reminded me of when they played the Patriots at the beginning of the year. Because they scored on every phase. They scored and dominated on every phase, I think, versus the Rams on special teams and defense. And I think they did the same thing against the Patriots. So they had a special teams touchdown and a defensive touchdown in the same game. I think they did that twice this year. That's insane. I think they blocked a punt. They blocked a punt or a field goal versus the Rams too, right?
I believe so, yeah. Let me see their team stats there.
I was looking at the highlights, and I was like, oh, man, they dominated 2 times on special teams.
And they almost had 300 passing yards. They had over 100 rushing yards. Let's see. Each team gave up an interception. There was no fumbles in the game. It doesn't look like we're going to talk about. Here's a scoring summary. So, in the first quarter, Dallas scores a touchdown. LA Rams scores a field goal. Cowboys field goal. Cowboys pick six. Cowboys safety. Cowboys touchdown. Cowboys touchdown. And then Cowboys field goal. Cowboys touchdown. But the safety, I believe, was the blocked punt.
My pick'ems are pretty bad this week.
Yeah, probably. So, but then Vikings beat the Packers, Titans beat the Falcons by a touchdown, Dolphins pretty much destroyed the Patriots. Saints outdid the Colts. Now, Panthers are no longer lossless. Or not lossless, winless. They now have a win.
Upset. They came back. They came back that game.
Yep. 15-13.
Guys.
Seahawks win 24-20. Bengals handed the 49ers their second loss in a row from being undefeated.
Third.
Do what? Third loss?
Third loss. Yep.
Really?
Yep.
I'd be damn. Look at that shit. Fire.
But they traded for Chase Young today.
There you go.
They got a compensatory third-round pick, so they got a third-round pick given to them, and so they use that on Chase. So basically, they got him for what I'm trying to say.
And then Broncos, obviously, they destroyed the Chiefs. Ravens beat the Cardinals. That was a close game. That came down to the last minute. Matter of fact, one of the best games that I'm pretty sure I passed. Where's it at? There it is. Shit, I missed the first two games. Bills beat the Buccaneers just barely by 6. That was a fun game. And then the Giants.
That Hail Mary was crazy.
That was, yeah. They should have had that. And then the Jets beat the Giants by 3 in overtime.
That was insane. I even was texting the group meeting like,
oh no, I was going back and forth with you. That was a good one.
I can't believe. How did the Giants lose that? Like, good for the Jets for winning that.
Well, they also don't have their quarterback right now. If I'm pretty positive.
I think there was like 23 punts combined that game or something, some record.
I believe it. Chargers dominate the Bears, and then the Lions just barely by 12 beat the Raiders. But apparently beat them enough to get their head coach and GM fired.
And Max Crosby was killing it. That's the crazy thing.
Yeah.
But he obviously can't play offense.
I'm about to say their defense has actually been fairly well.
Well, what surprised me was the Titans. Will Levis getting his first start and throws fucking 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Like, okay. And he was that guy who's supposed to be a first-round pick, and he came a high second-round pick. And so,
he also went 19 for 29 for 238 yards.
4 touchdowns. That's crazy. And your first start, how bad are you, Atlanta? That's crazy.
So you know how I said I'd actually wouldn't mind Jimmy Garoppolo? Not Jimmy. Who the fuck I'm talking about? No. Derek Carr. Where's he at?
Saints.
And Easton's like, you don't want him, da-da-da-da-da. He yet again had another game over 300 yards. I mean, he's killing it. I mean, his record's only 4-4, but he's killing it.
Yeah.
2 of them, which I love, were to Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill is such an interesting player.
He's that gadget guy.
He's,
but they were debating if they were going to pay him in his contract year because he was so versatile.
Yeah. I mean, he's their tight end. He's been their quarterback.
Been on punt. He does everything.
So
But it's just like,
the year he took over for quarterback, I had him as a tight end,
yeah.
and so it was really interesting. The game that he took over on, he had some really wicked scores in fantasy, at least. But oh, yeah, and it was a very fun, interesting weekend in the NFL. This is about when the very interesting games start to come out.
Yep.
Okay, so Brandon and I will do our own solo plickums. For starters off, we have tomorrow. On Thursday, we have Titans at the Steelers. What you got, Brandon?
Oh, let's go Titans with the hot streak.
I'm going to go Titans as well. Next, we have Dolphins at the Chiefs. That could be an interesting one.
Oh yeah, talked about that earlier. Let's go Miami.
I'm going to take Miami as well. I really want them to win. This would be great. And then we have...
Tyreek Hill playing his old team.
It's true. What does that make? Oh yeah, that makes KC's record 6-2 right now. All right, then we got Vikings at the Falcons.
Ugly game. 'Cause the Vikings just traded for Josh Dobbs. I don't know if he's going to be ready to play. I'm going to go Falcons.
I'm going to go Falcons as well because they've also got a quarterback situation moving around there.
Taylor Heineke is the starting quarterback they announced.
Interesting.
So another XFL connection.
Yeah.
Because he played well for the Commanders.
He did.
Can they let him go? They almost beat the Patriots.
It's true.
In the not Patriots, the Buccaneers when they played in the playoff game. That's the closest playoff game they had all year when the Bucs won the Super Bowl.
It's true. And then we have Bears at the Saints.
Saints.
Yeah, totally Saints. Then Rams at the Packers.
Oh, I'm going Rams still.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you, but I got Packers.
I don't trust the Packers at all. They haven't done anything this season.
That's true, but Packers might.
And they traded away. They traded away one of the best corners to the Bills. So I mean, what are you gonna say?
Next, we have Commanders at the Patriots.
I'm still gonna go Commanders.
Absolutely.
Because of Sam Howell at quarterback, but they just traded both their good defensive linemen. One went to the Niners, and one went to can't remember who the other one went to.
Then we have Seahawks at Ravens.
Ravens.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Ravens. Buccaneers at Texans. That should be a good game.
Texans.
I'm taking Texans only because they're home. And then
Oh,
Cardinals.
the Bears. Yeah, the Bears got Montez Sweat in the trade.
There you go. And then Cardinals at the Browns.
Browns.
Cardinals are sucking ass right now.
And because the Cardinals, I don't know. Well, Kyler Murray's supposed to be back, but I don't think he's starting yet because they just traded Josh Dobbs, the starting quarterback that's been the starter, but obviously he got traded to Minnesota. They said Kyler Murray's on track to come back this season, but he hasn't been practicing. So, shit.
Yep.
All right, I'm back.
Hi, Zach.
That was a long poo.
No, my boss called me. Sorry.
Oh, what the hell's he wanted this
Tell me
time
the
of night?
podcast and call back later.
Like I said,
join the
you have some
podcast.
unhappy. Sometimes you have some unhappy clients.
You should have,
So,
when you
gotta
answered, you should
discuss
be like, I hope
strategy
I'm
for
on
the morning.
the... When you called him, you should have been like, I hope you know I'm on the clock and I'm charging you for this.
That's
Yeah.
a one-way ticket out the door.
Okay, Zach, we're doing the pick'ems. I'll do you a little speed pick'ems, and you can just tell me what you think.
Sure.
Okay, Titans at the Steelers.
Titans.
Dolphins at the Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Vikings at the Falcons.
Vikings.
Even though they don't have a quarterback.
Oh, Vikings.
Oh, too late.
She's the Vikings.
The pick is in.
Bears at the Saints.
Shoot, the Saints have not been doing well. I'm gonna go with the Bears.
You sure about that? They won pretty good last week. They're 4-4.
Every time I've chosen the Saints, they've lost.
Well, fine then. Fuck it. Rams at the Packers.
You know what? I'll go for the Packers.
Okay. Commanders at the Patriots.
Commanders.
Seahawks at the Ravens.
Ravens. Go Lamar.
Buccaneers at the Texans.
Bucks.
Cardinals at the Browns.
Brr.
Yep, we both took Browns. Okay. Here's where Brandon and I are back up to. I'll just go Zach first, Brandon, me. Colts at the Panthers.
We'll do Colts.
Colts.
Yeah, Colts. Giants at the Raiders.
Oh, game of the year.
Damn. Well, the Raiders just lost a coach, so I'm going to go Giants.
I'm going Raiders. They're going to be hyped.
I'm about to say, I'm going to say Raiders because they're probably excited that he's gone and they can just fucking do whatever the hell they want. They're going to play
Just
well.
lost the shittiest game of the year. I mean,
Yeah.
they had to lead the whole game and they lost in overtime.
And then Cowboys.
How do you lead the whole game and lose in overtime?
Holy shit, this is going to be a good game. We got Cowboys at the Eagles.
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 America's game. That's what I'm doing. Bills at the Bengals.
Well, I got Bengals.
Bengals. I'll go Bengals.
Yeah, I'm going Bengals. They're just looking a little bit better in my opinion.
Go Bird.
And then Monday night we got Chargers at the Jets.
I'll go Chargers.
I'm gonna go Jets.
I'm going Jets.
Chargers have a better team, but the Chargers is just Chargers. And they just. As that coach not fired, they had so much talent on that team. They just keep losing.
The Jets are on a hot streak though right now.
Yeah, the Jets are a good team, but they just don't have Aaron Rodgers. They still have a good defense and they have a really good running back.
But what's his face? Wilson has actually been doing pretty good last couple games.
Yeah.
I mean, I give him a little bit of credit.
Yeah, I don't know if Aaron Rodgers is coming back this season. They say he is. There's never been a guy that came back after that. There's never been.
If he does, it'd be for the playoffs, and that's it. But he would be the guy.
Throwing the ball, I get it, but he's stationary. He's not running and sprinting, avoiding sacks. Come on, he's just standing still throwing.
Yeah.
Quarterbacks never stand still and throw.
When he does his best when he's outside of the pocket. So, but yeah, that's the last of the pick alumnums. Zach, any final thoughts for the night?
I really hope the Chiefs have a better week this week. I was, like I said, I didn't watch the game, but I was disappointed with the score. So I really hope the Chiefs have a better week this week.
This should be a fairly good game, in my opinion, unless the Chiefs are down in the dirt. I do think the Miami Dolphins have the edge on it, though.
The Dolphins have been doing pretty well.
I mean, they're both 6-2.
Mm-hmm. So I think
just
the
way
Miami's been
winning games has been insane. All that offense, they're on track to break so many records this year. They're averaging 500 yards a game. That's hard to do in the NFL.
Valdez Cantley says having to travel to Germany for week 9 sucks. That's another thing. They're playing in Germany this week.
Oh.
So they don't even
be interesting.
They don't even have home advantage.
They're already in Germany, so in Germany all week, getting acclimated to the time.
I wonder if Taylor Swift's going to Germany too.
I doubt it. I think she's on her tour now.
She's on her what?
She's on her tour right now.
Oh. Okay. Won't have any Taylor Swift luck. That's unfortunate.
Yeah. Her international tour starts on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
So a week from tomorrow. And she'll be in Argentina for like 3 days.
Yeah.
But I bet you she's already getting ready to head that way. It would make sense for her to be in Germany before going to Argentina. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Okay. Any final thoughts, notes, comments, butt scratches from anybody?
No butt scratches.
I do have
Are we gonna
this.
post it by Friday? We're gonna post this by next Tuesday, chat.
It should be by Friday. Oh, I do have this last message from Easton, though.
The Chiefs suck.
Suck
That's
me
right.
sideways.
What the hell?
I love that combo. That's such a great
That should
combo.
be the outro.
Since
You
we
know,
is,
his
we
stress
just...
throat-
Outro remix.
His strep throat's gonna be healed by Sunday when he watches the Chiefs
If you
at 7 in the
play,
morning.
if you play too much of the Pornhub intro, do you get a copyright strike?
Oh.
Oh, is he chatting in Discord?
Do what?
Is he chatting in Discord?
No, I did that saying it to him because... Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So, that is where we will wrap it up. It's a little lackluster of enthusiasm of a podcast, but you know, fuck it. Everyone forgot except for us. I don't even remember what episode this is anymore. I think it's 6, but we're just rolling and strolling and getting growing. We shall be back again next week, unless something else changes. It might not be Wednesday that we are recording next week. I got an event going on with how late that goes. Hopefully we'll be back here by then, but I'll just keep that one up to date, and then we'll see if we need to record on Thursday or something else. Anyway, thank you all for hanging out, listening, and chatting, and screaming, and twerking. I'll see y'all later.
Later, chat. Outro music. Outro music. Outro music.
Life ain't easy, yo. I think there's a reason, though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life